Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I am Sunny Pancholi, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulae for many. And this is what we aim at with these sessions by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such industry stalwart on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Dr. Surendra Pal Singh. Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, Mr. Singh.
Thank you, Sunny. Thank you so much.
He has dedicated a large portion of his career to the telecom industry, that is so far 33 years of his 43 years of career. And as a result, he is National Head of Operations at Summit Digitel Infrastructure Ltd. There, he is responsible for making strategic decisions for about 40 circles spread out pan-India, considering the feasibility of new products in the field. With a strong focus on maintaining operational efficacy, he manages vendor governance in coordination with the supply chain management team while adhering to budget parameters. One of the biggest feats he has accomplished in his current role is managing 174,000 sites across India with utmost efficiency and productivity. So, Dr. Singh, could you let our viewers know about your journey of becoming national head and undertaking the arduous task of managing operations throughout India?
Thanks, Sunny. It's a great journey. In fact, if I recall right from the day I joined a government organization in their production unit, they were manufacturing optical fiber cables way back somewhere in 1990. So I joined that unit as a maintenance engineer. And what we learned during that period was that it is all about teamwork, because the focus was there only on the production targets. In whatever the situation we are in, the focus was always towards meeting the production targets, and that was possible only through the teamwork. So there were separate teams, a production team, a maintenance team. Together, they have to work hand in hand and ensure that the production targets are met. So teamwork was one of the value, in fact, which I learned very early in my career, that without teamwork, you will not be able to achieve the targets. Moving from there, I took an assignment of projects. So when we came to project, beyond teamwork, which was internal at that time, now it is external agencies which were more involved into the execution of various projects. So the projects were related to cable link, to termination, then handing over to BSNL, another, at that time it was DOT. So it was handing over to DOT and then interacting with the government agencies and the external vendors who are not part of your team, or rather they do not share the same values as we were. So managing them, delivering the projects on time and with the quality. So two clear aspects came to, at least that time, to my focus was that delivery timings to be maintained in the projects and the quality as well is to be ascertained. Otherwise, the project is of no use. So the second biggest learning had been that you have to deliver the projects in time with the quality. Moving from there, when I moved to private sectors from government, being in the government, more learning was that very strong policies and the processes these government organizations has. We really realize it's not people specific, it is the process and the policy specific. People are there and they are able to deliver with that. Coming to private organizations where the targets are more important, again, we need to ensure that you are meeting the larger targets with the diversified groups. So I took up an assignment in the private company where telecom business means the mobile towers, they were located distinctly in various parts of the states, and then putting them together. People, those who are not very close to you, unlike a production unit where you are working within a four wall, here the people are working from various locations. So getting the clear targets to them, communicating them clearly that what you actually need from them, and also monitoring them. It was a little different from then what it was previously in my previous career of working with in a production unit where everything was within the four wall. You get into this factory in the morning and come out in the evening. People are right in front of you. Here it was quite different. The people were not there right with you. They were at various locations. So what is you expect them? The clarity of thoughts and the clear communication was another part of it. Then again, getting into that quality of work with these people, where the procedures, they were all letting down, but you don't have that close monitoring. So from a distance, you need to monitor and make sure that what you expect is being delivered on time. That was another Herculean task. Then moving from there to a national role, where you will have to manage entire geography of a country, right from Jammu and Kashmir to Kanyakumari, and then hills of Arunachal Pradesh to Gujarat. Everywhere you can't be there, but you need to have a very strong team there and a very clear communication. Besides, you need to have the processes, that is all right, but your clear thought process and clear communications to the team is only mechanism that you can deliver the results. And here it is more so in the telecom industry that we are working 24/7. Every activity of yours is impacting the end customers. So end customer who doesn't really know anything of the technology, any challenges you are facing, would he really believe that he should get uninterrupted services 24/7? It becomes more difficult or more crucial in the time of crisis. In the crime, say there are floods, the entire area is flooded. Communication is the only media at that time, or the mobile communication particularly is the only media, and disruptions are at a very high level. Everywhere there is a flood, or there's an earthquake, or there is a great failure. So these crisis moments becomes more crucial. I have seen in my career that in the uh, floods in the Srinagar area, that everybody wanted to touch base with their near and dear ones, and there was absolute no communication. So the pressure was on people like us that you need to immediately restore the network where nobody is able to reach, but at least communication will help them in rescuing government organizations to provide the rescue services to them. They also needed this communication to be there. So a lot of pressure, but all this is possible only when you have the teams dedicated and you are as a leader able to strategize them, put strategy in place in time, and also very clearly able to communicate that what you expect and what are their deliverables. So I think that's what how the journey had been, right from a production unit where it was a small maintenance unit, and then going up to the last person who is the end customer who is affected, and at times the lives are at stake. And that time you need to ensure that your processes or strategies are working. That's
Rightly
how.
said, Mr. Singh. Is there some common learnings underlying all your roles and responsibilities that help you in your day-to-day professional life?
Surely, every assignment of mine has very distinctly given certain values or certain learnings for me, right from the day when I started learning team working, how important is the team working, to the next level of the projects, like complex problems, breaking them into smaller, manageable tasks, and then solving them. But another great learning, because at times the problem seems to be very great and you don't have a headway how to solve it. But then if you are able to break them down into a manageable task, smaller task, I think things become easier. So that was another thing which I learned when I was handling big projects and looking into those complex issues. Uh, Third, also I learned was that if you are able to lead from front, the teams get motivated. So the team was nothing better than leading from front is the means of motivating the team. As a leader, if you are able to do this, I'm sure your teams get highly motivated and they will be able to really deliver what you expect them to do that. Communication skill is the next learning which I had. That if you are able to communicate clearly what you are expecting them to deliver, half the job is done. So very important learning which I had while was trying to communicate my team, which is located distinctly. They are not in the same office or the same premises, but other parts of the country they are operating from. The value systems are different, but then you have to bind them together with the skill which you had, that you are able to communicate them clearly. Also, very important learning which I had, that you need to really assess the risk and manage the risk. Every business, it has its own risk. Nothing is risk free in this world. So every business, when you are driving, there are associated risk with that. Need to assess them and strategize and put a mechanism in how to manage those risks in case they are existing. Also, lately, which way in my career, I see that your decision needs to be backed by certain data. So you have to do a lot of data analysis before getting into a decision, because the decision which you make as a leader is very important for the team, because that can lead to a disaster or a success. So data-based and analysis-based decisions, or informed decisions, so we call it, is another great learning that any leader who has to really operate at that level need to understand the analytics of first of the data availability, analytics of the data, and the informed decisions which will impact definitely your performance, your team's performance, and ultimately the company performance. These were the learnings which right from the team to the decision making or informed decision making had been, if I can put them together, was a great experience or great learning.
Okay, Mr. Singh. So which is the biggest accomplishment in your career so far?
If I have to talk, to me, every accomplishment at that time was the biggest. So everything was biggest, because that time that was the focus, entire focus, that this issue we need to resolve and it becomes biggest. But now if we look back, there was at times there was an issue way back somewhere in 2011 or 12. We were struggling to get deliveries as per the customer expectations in a circle like Bihar and Jharkhand, one of the circle where demand of telecom or mobile network even today it's very high, but the availability was not there so much as they were expecting. One is that coverage everywhere. Secondly, the quality of the services which we were delivering there in Bihar were not of that standard which a customer needed, primarily because of low availability of the grid power supply, because these equipment are operating on the grid power. Although we had a backup in form of diesel generators, but again, managing diesel generators everywhere for those locations for long duration, where the grid supply was either for 6 hours or 8 hours in a day. Rest of the time you have to manage with the generators. Then the generator maintenance also was very demanding, and all those things were really hampering our performance. So that was the task I took as a leader, and then we decided, okay, we will bring BR at par with any other circles in the country. Herculean task at that moment it looked like, but then again, same strategy we thought of. Then how do we move about it? So we divided this big project into two parts. We said, okay, let's separate Bihar, separate Jharkhand, let's make it and put more people, closure monitoring of the people, and give them the confidence, yes, you can do it. So a smaller part, maybe initially we started with a smaller district. One district, we said, okay, if we can make one district, I think the entire Bihar can be done. So, and within around 6 to 8 months, we were back, or we could say that our Bihar circle is equivalent to any other state in the country. And since then, there's no looking back. Everyone in the Bihar is at the same level of performance. And see, initially we used to put our performance to anyone except Bihar. Rest of the country and Bihar is separate. So then we do that, and today when we say we really feel proud of it, that there's nothing like Bihar. This is one nation, and then I can put my performance as one. So that was the biggest accomplishment, if I can recall today. It's a great thing done. But it was very challenging at that moment, but it is very satisfying today.
Absolutely, Mr. Singh. Do you think telecom industry requires better ESG and corporate governance integration?
ESG and corporate governance integration is today, if we look at ESG, is now evolving. ESG is evolving. Corporate governance had been since beginnings in the companies, but there the corporate governance was in place, and more focus on the governance was that the financial results are okay, and then seems like the governance is okay. But with the ESG now, if we have to look at these two things going forward, they can't be even separated. If the integration is not happening, these two things are even today seems like running in parallel. When we say ESG, you are taking care of environment, you are taking care of society, you are taking care of governance. By governance, when we say that the companies are following the ethics or ethical practices, they're looking at sustainability, that means are sustainable. You are able to do good for the society. Take a case of telecom industry. When telecom industry, what we can do for the society, there are underserved areas where even today the mobile network is not there. People are not connected. So connecting them together. Therefore, ESG, if I have to say, I have to take one part of ESG, say environment. Environment today, telecom industry is generating a lot of carbon footprint, or we say GHG emission. So we need to control that, and that is possible only by providing efficient uses of the energy, because it is consuming energy 24/7. These equipments which we supply or we are providing network, they consume energy. So it is really essential today that corporate governance and ESG has to be integrated more so for the telecom industry, because they have to take care of the society, they have to take care of the environment. I don't think this can be any further. This can be separated. Even the government or security exchange also, they wanted this, that at least the top 1,000 companies should start reporting the ESG, and it should be becoming a part of the corporate governance, which will ultimately lead to better financial performances of the companies. In which way, whatever way you consider, right, from the environment to the society and to the managing risk or controlling the fraud or looking at the ethics of the people working there, everything should become a part of corporate governance. So integration of ESG and corporate governance is essential, very much essential for the telecom industry per se. That's what I feel.
Okay, Dr. Singh, what technological changes have you seen in your professional life? And can you state your foresights on the upcoming technological trends, namely IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, Web 3.0, etc.?
Sunny, I have seen life when I was working on a note sheet. We prepare a note sheet and they take management approval. And a heap of files always available on your table. A small laptop which is right in front of me, or a mobile, from
right.
which then all files, all records, all data is available. So from that time, when we were writing a small note, taking approval of the management, and is moving from table to table. Now the thing which took sometimes months to get that cleared, And now it is maybe in few minutes, you write a note and goes to the second person through mail and then get approved. So we have seen technology. I have seen particularly technology from that area to this. And we have, even the moments were very, very difficult. One has to go to corporate office for a meeting. Now today we are talking face to face, sitting in comforts of your office. I'm sitting in my office. We are able to talk.
Right.
So these changes, in fact, to people like me, those you have seen for last 30, 40 years, they're very, very predominant for me that for no time that if I have to go to Delhi from one city to Delhi for meeting with my chairman or someone, it was at least 2 days plans. One day you have to travel, the second day you have to come back. So 2 days are gone. Today, it is just picking up a phone or a video call, making a video call, and things get very, very immediately they are done. So the time saving become more efficient, sharing data, which was earlier on the file. One mistake you make, you have to send it back, get it done once again. So on the front of, if you have to talk of AI or ML, they are being used in many applications today. They will continue to be used in a better way. One of the practical example which we have seen, like with the help of AI, where we can see this image recognition, the access control system has become very, very easy. Initially, as a telecom professional, I can tell you the tower locations which were at the remote areas, we never came to know who has visited the site and why, and how to control the access, whom to allow, whom not to allow. Today, with this technology, it is so clear that there is a face recognition. A person who is allowed to enter into the premises is only allowed. Other one is rejected. Or there is a trail available. So I can see, okay, if someone allowed somebody, who was that person? When did he go? What did he do? So that is so prominent and so useful today that sometimes when we thought of here, this is not possible, the thing is not possible, is practically happening today. And this is improving the efficiency. This is clearly improving the efficiency where we were not able to ascertain how much time is being taken from one person from point A to B. Today it is possible with the technology. That over from A point to B point, it takes only 30 minutes. Why should he spend 2 hours? Someone who is assigned a task will be able to do that. So the application of AI are very clear. Coming to blockchain is a large application today where these informations are encrypted, they're decentralized. Many such uses where the frauds and other things are, or hacking is becoming difficult. With this technology coming in, I think that aspect also will be taken care of. So particularly if I have to narrate that, I've seen a long way that users of technology, and in the time to come again, like driverless cars and all. And in this telecom will be playing a vital role. Telecom technology or telecom industry as a whole will be really playing a vital role, like 5G coming in now, the use cases you will see will start increasing. So my view is that we are on to the right path, and the use cases of this technology, be it AI, ML, or blockchain, or Web 3.0, is going to increase like anything in the future to come. And this will improve the efficiency. This will definitely going to improve. And at times you will find that the world may not be possible without it. It will become so essential for every one of us that we will not be able to move without it.
As an ESG certified corporate governance expert, what values do you offer the corporate world?
As an ESG certified corporate governance leadership, we have, while I was doing this course, we have learned so many aspects of ESG, which were not earlier. This was a very hazy picture, particularly if I had to say about ESG, corporate governance. Yes, we knew it and we have been doing it for quite some time. But ESG was little hazy in our minds. But with this course or the understanding which we had, what made us very clear, saying that ESG has to fix at least 4 or 5 things. As an expert, what you can add value, or you can tell the corporate governance people that how do the governance, fixing certain things, I think is very essential, like accountability. You need to fix the accountability. You have to make a mechanism to fix the accountability. You need to keep your commitments of the ESG commitment, which you are telling. You need to really tell the people that, look, these are the commitments towards ESG or towards society we will have to. So you have to fix that accountability. You have to also put very clearly the objective perspective, what it is. There's still, as I was hazy sometimes back, I was not very clear in my mind what is ESG all about. As an expert, today I will be able to explain to the community, saying that, or to the industry, that what is the objective of ESG. So putting a clear perspective, that also ESG perspective, what is the clear perspective of that objective perspective of ESG also will help us. Then also there are, when we are analyzing the risk, so analyzing the risk and finding the opportunities and the risk, you can, the risk can be converted into an opportunity, how to resolve that risk, how to manage that risk. So risk management and finding an opportunity is an innovative approach. That the new innovation can be done in that way. So these are the 4 or 5 things which I feel, right from the accountability to the objectivity, and also in innovation, finding opportunities in the risk. One also, this entire thing will improve the reputation of the organizations. When you go into very sustainable mode of operations, or you can look at the areas of controlling the fraud, controlling something which is not unethical in the industry. So that will improve the reputation of the organizations. I think these are the 5 things, or 4 or 5 things, as an expert we should be able to emphasize, or I should be able to emphasize and get into that. Okay, look, these are the, in addition to the corporate governance, these are the parameters which will improve the reputation of the organization and make the business sustainable.
All right, Mr. Singh. We are building FaceTime with Leaders community for cross-pollination of knowledge and a community of independent directors for having a better corporate governance in the country. What are your thoughts about these initiatives taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Heval Mehta, and the whole team of World Development Corporation?
See, right, ever since I have joined this community, and the initiatives which are initiated by both Mr. Heval Mehta and Zishan Pathan. So what we learned again, that ESG and corporate governance are complementary part. They are complementary. We need to work them together, and also these initiatives are bringing clarity in people's mind in making the businesses sustainable, and also looking at certain aspects which were initially were not, they were found out rather very late, till that when the damages has occurred. So monitoring them at the right time, controlling and managing the risk which our businesses are having. These initiatives are really wonderful, and these leaders who are now ready to take up these assignments or drive the business will be able to preempt certain things which initially were very late to be identified, and then by then the damages had occurred. So to me, it looks like this community will be able to help and will be of great use for managing businesses in this environment.
That was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will inspire the future leaders. Thank you, Dr. Surendra Pal Singh, for joining us today. Wish you the best for your future endeavors. Moreover, trust that these initiatives by Directors Institute has unquestionably expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sunny.
Thank you. Have a nice day, sir.
Thanks.